Welcome. Okay. Welcome. I'm briefly. It has been a super duper long day. But I want to briefly touch base on the manifestation videos. I just almost licked my finger to put my hair back. I'm just gonna do YouTube real quick as soon as I'm done. Are you in the group chat on where to go next?
Yeah.
Summer?
I don't care though. I'm not gonna be voting anytime soon.
Well, you gotta vote.
I don't care, so I won't be voting.
Okay. Say hi to Max.
No, what you want to tell me?
Yeah. Yep, that's
Did you vote? You can have my vote.
Then I say South Carolina.
Huh?
Then I say South Carolina.
Right, yeah, no, I'd rather go to Myrtle Beach.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So, I'm going to do this for like 15 minutes and then I'll come in and chat with you. I like your new t-shirt.
Yeah.
Love it.
Look at that.
Hurry.
That was a rough time. No, I just didn't fucking prank you.
So,
Okay.
I love you too. I brought up we were talking briefly about manifestations in one of the initial videos that I just did. And there's so many different types of manifestations, guys. There really is. I broke down just some of them that I want to bring to your attention real quick. Sorry, it's talking about my. I don't know why the computer keeps doing that. Okay, so sorry. So we have matrix manifestation that I mentioned the other day, right? Where we can talk about different aspects of your life. It could be you're manifesting love, you're manifesting wealth. Let's just leave it at that too, versus good health. I almost said in addition. So maybe in addition to good health, but I want to leave health out of this for a minute, okay? Then we have another type of matrix manifestation where we're talking about people want to bring in the spiritual techniques to it. They want to add their spiritual techniques, their way, their opinion, their viewpoint. I touched base on celebrities, influencers, their belief on how they were taught, that type of stuff. But for me, hi, sweetie. But for me, when it comes to celebrities and influencers and their beliefs, and I truly believe that they are speaking from the heart, but a majority of them typically either have one or the other. They typically probably already have money in the bank, but they still want to help. And by them helping, they're reaching out to you saying or marketing what technique worked for them. That's great. Okay. But it's not the same as I have to be careful how I word this so I can get certain shit for a lot of shit. Not the same as an everyday human walking around in the matrix. I don't even know how I'm quite gonna put that into words, but when they find their serenity, like when they find their inner peace, it usually boils down to they found some type of spiritual belief that gets them by. Mind you, they typically already had one or the other, and I'm not shitting on any particular influencers or any particular celebrities that are putting themselves out there and marketing what belief worked for them, because I think that's great. But you also have to take into consideration their everyday life. And I hate to say it like that, but it's maybe I should have found a different way to word that a little better so I don't get backlash for that one. And it's not all of them. Okay. I'm obviously not going there. So we have that out there. We also have a spiritual. Now these are just this is just like the breakdown, okay, of like different types of manifestation. So we also have the spiritual manifestation where they truly believe in their techniques, but a majority of them are like affirmations and over and visualizations and all this other stuff. And it usually only boils down to like one particular factor technique that they think works the best. Okay. Then we have gurus. Okay. Definitely not all of them, but definitely a majority of them want the best for you. But typically when you go to retreats and certain things and you start believing in certain beliefs and things, it takes you down a certain path of an awakening, and it gets your focus to focus on something else instead of what your focus was, if that makes sense. Like whatever you're drawn there for, you know what I mean? So then we have another type of manifestation where you have the higher consciousness and the matrix, and they exist together. Okay. But just because you're awakened to certain stuff and energies doesn't mean that's necessarily the best blend for you, right? So then this leaves us with what I think for me and how Spirit's trying to word it is higher dimension manifestations, okay? Is where we're kind of going to get you manifesting on a higher plane, and we're going to take you out of the matrix. So a lot of people just want to look at manifestation as just only a few techniques, and those are techniques that work for people. You notice, like, let's back it up a minute. You notice how like certain gurus and this and that, they don't talk about manifestation. They don't talk about this. That's like a matrix thing. Okay. It's not a higher dimensional thing. We're not here. We don't come to earth to manifest. That is not our sole purpose of being here. Right. But I think a lot of people, what they're not understanding is that there's so many different ways of manifestation. And this is me just jotting down a couple things when I'm just doing my thing, right? So we have the matrix manifestation when it comes to success and wealth and marketing. And chances are when you're banking like that, but you're living in the matrix, are you still being a family man? Are you still being a family woman? One aspect of someone's life is going to not get nurtured properly if your focus is only on one thing. That's a matrix manifestation. And if you want to live in the matrix and you want to live your life out with that like that, and you're happy just leaving, a bank account to people when you're gone and feel like you did your job, then I guess so be it, right? But there's so much more out there. And no matter what type of manifestation you're trying to acquire, like it doesn't work. It doesn't work like people think it is. So I'm just at the point where the spiritual industry is going is down the freaking shitta is where it's going. And it's going to end up staying down the freaking shitta. And so we have more people that are going to step in and start teaching above what, and everything's being repeated and in a repetitive pattern, if that makes sense, right? But it's like, got a new spokesperson over here, you got a new celebrity preaching this, you got higher influences preaching that, and politicians preaching that. And again, we brought up the government and the other speech, where they're using sacred words out into social media, so it looks like they have a higher conscious and they're doing the right thing, which is complete fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. And they knew the spiritual industry would take off. Okay. So it's just their little sneaky way of joining the crowd, acting like they can vibe with you when they're not vibing with you. Okay. And I do got to use my best discernment when I'm talking about celebrities and other influences. And it's like, I banked this much money in 2022, and here's your 5 tips. Like, it's going to work differently for every single human being on this planet. And that's how you're going to have to ride it out. Right? To keep a business, you know how like one business they'll have that to run their business, and then another person runs that part of the department to run their business. It's like a freaking food chain, right? So I know from studying the brain for the last 9 months, there's so many different parts of the brain, and if you are not in tuned with how your brain works, first of all, I'll back it up a notch one more time, because manifestation comes from your soul, and it's a feeling, it's a visualization. It's so much more. It's the depth that someone can't teach you. It's a feeling, and you don't feel that until you're at a certain stage in your life where you choose you want this or you want that or you want more, or it just really depends on the circumstances. But I do need to break down the brain for you guys as well, so you know how the brain works, how it's being attacked, that type of stuff. In order to really, this is not where I'm going with this channel, is not, oh my God, this chick is thinking outside the box. Hell no. I'm not even in a box anymore. Okay. We need to start manifesting portals, like I was saying the other day. Like, not wealth, not health, not success, not friendship, not love, not all these other things, because all those things come to you. You don't have to ask for them. They come to you, if that makes sense, right? So with the brain, we have so many different factors, so many different parts of the brain. You have the limbic system, you have your brain cells, you have your brain stems, you have your neurons, you have your neurotransmitters, you have your PFC, you have your dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. I mean, there's just, you got gray matter, and you have, there's so many different parts of your brain that I really, really need to break down. I had my original video up there that I decided to take down because people can unfortunately steal my ideas and where I'm going with certain stuff. And now that I'm incorporating things a little differently, I had to take that down. It's just, I started this in the midst of pre-shadow Mercury, 5 planets going retro, you name it. Okay, so I wouldn't put it past all the other energies that aren't going to be too keen on where I'm going with certain things. So we need to stop looking at manifestation as an easy fix, and this is going to helped me get to where I need to be in life. We need to start looking at things much, much differently and much, much clearer. You need a clear head. It's mind, body, and soul. And I don't know about everybody, and I truly believe some of these influencers and celebrities, they truly, truly do want the best for you guys, and they believe that it works. But until you have walked a strong spiritual path, well, I can't say that for everybody. I don't want to take that away from anybody, because everybody has their ups and downs, and you get dragged through the mud no matter who you are. But I also know there's certain celebrities that just do it for certain reasons, okay? And then there's other ones that truly want the best. But I believe there's probably only so many people that can truly teach people how to find their inner essence, come back in touch with their soul again, because that's what it comes down to. And it's not like, oh, I need to find myself and do this so I can be where I want to be in life. Like that's not a thing. You've never lost yourself. You've just allowed other energies to overtake your brain to the point where you can't feel it in your soul anymore, So I do want to come back and start with certain things. And I do want to start by, breaking down the brain a little bit so you guys can kind of understand what social media does, what stress alone does to one's brain, So we have to stop with the whole, I want to manifest this to manifest that, because that should be the least of your worries. And I know with where the industry is going, it's going to pull more and more energy towards those people that are going to click on that link and certain things. But you guys don't even understand like what you're clicking on. You think it sounds good, what you're clicking on, right? We have the power within us, especially when we find our authentic selves, to bring a lot of things towards us, then you become magnets. We need to learn how to work with energy. I need to reteach people how to work with energy. A lot of people just want to touch base on, just chakras and binaural beats and yoga and all this other stuff. And if you're not touching base with understanding where certain energies, even where their frequency even like comes from, like you got to work with your meridian energies. You got to clear the auras outside your aura in order to even be able to manipulate energy. And I want you guys to be able to manipulate energy in the way that benefits you, to be able to shut it off, to be able to turn it on. You know what I mean? Like be able to shut it down, things like that. So again, Max just scared Sheldon. Again, I am not trying to shit on every celebrity or every influencer or every politician or everybody who works in the government. That's not my goal, okay? My goal is to make things better. This is Sheldon. So, I have a much bigger goal than to shit on other people's methods. I'm just bringing up these examples so you guys understand that that's not your ticket to success. That's not your ticket to happiness. It takes special people to break down certain stuff to reach someone's soul, right? I'm I'm hoping I'm that person when it comes to the collective in this channel. And I hope there's more influencers and gurus and all these other people that start stepping up to the plate, because I want a teacher just like you guys. Like, I want people to look up to. I want to muse. I want to be inspired by people raising their vibration and not just a matrix consciousness, right? So it's definitely the time for people to start speaking up and explaining more. And again, it's always been out there, but it's kind of been behind the scene. I love the app Gaia. I think it's phenomenal. I don't watch it enough. But you have to know who's marketing what. And even if they have a strong belief behind it, which is amazing, but you also have to consider where it's coming from, their lifestyle. There's a lot to consider, you know? And typically when I'm just going to use discernment right now. We'll go leave it at that. You know, I think a belief is a wonderful thing, and a lot of people don't have a belief. And I do truly think it's important to have some type of belief. It doesn't have to be a religion, but some type of belief that gets you by or puts a smile on your face or something, you know? So I started this channel, last week, this week? I don't even know. And then I'm going away for 4 days. Thursday. I'll be back on Tuesday. Not the best timing, but like I was saying before, if I don't do it, I won't do it, because you never know where something is going to take you. And I don't want to get off track. So I think I'm slowly with certain videos going to teach you different parts of the brain. I'm going to teach you that 3-hour video that I was just going to break down and then do one concept. So I think now I'm going to take it and break it down differently and then give certain examples. Like the other day when I, mentioned Jack and Jill, Adam and Eve, Jack and Diane, it's because we already have this visualization of what history has taught us, which is good in the sense. I don't want to take away history by any means, right? That's not what I'm trying to do. But got to start from scratch with certain stuff. You got to question certain stuff. And I'm just was giving you a prime example of how that works. And you don't even realize it. It's already imprinted because of what you were taught in school, right? So if we can take what we need to take from, again, back to your roots from the very beginning, and if I can put you there, you're going to put yourself there, right? It's almost like starting new. Could you call it another form of a spiritual journey? Probably, right? But I feel like this is different because this is for those who already know what a spiritual journey is about. And this is just another chapter to add on to another chapter. And it's just a bonus to really get in touch with who you are by breaking down how your brain works, breaking down how your soul works, breaking down certain stuff, incorporating certain stuff. So again, this channel is just gonna flow the best that I can in regards to this type of stuff, because this is the way I learned about the brain. They do not break that shit down in school for you like that. And it's not because it's too hard for them or it's too complex or you're going to confuse the students, No. it's that one tool that is your power tool. That's where you hold all your power, right? So once we're done breaking down certain stuff, you're going to be like, holy fuck. Like, it really is mind-blowing. Okay? So it's eye-opening to the point where you're gonna start questioning things, and that's a good thing, because we need you to start questioning things. You know, it's not like, oh, I've been down to rock bottom and this and that, I need to pick me up. No. So I don't know if I can really compare it to a spiritual journey. I don't know what I would call it. Yeah, it wouldn't be like a spiritual journey. I don't know. When I figure out what it is, I'll let you guys know. But so I'm gonna start doing that for you guys, and a whole bunch of other stuff like in between. And I really want to start talking about animism and all sorts of different things. And a majority of people and a majority of religions already incorporate that. So it's not going to be like too fresh to too many other people. But the way I think how it became so eye-opening to me in regards to wanting to take on this project path, whatever I'm doing right now with spirit in regards to animism, is because originally it was a religion and it was taken. A lot of people just say, it's a belief, but it's just like anything else. It gets wiped out of books and histories and scripts and that type of stuff. I do want to incorporate that. And the more I look into it and I do research and I study, it's already been my belief with a lot of things. And then I incorporate all the other spiritual gifts and certain things. And that plays right into that role as well. But not to the point where I want it to be like, not to the point where, well, I don't know where the point, I don't know where it's going to go on in this channel yet, but it's definitely absolutely being incorporated, but in the sense where I wouldn't say incognito, but it's just like, it's a belief, but it doesn't have to be the main focus, right? I don't think. I'm freaking new at this too, We'll ride this wave together and see how it pans out. But I do plan on doing, I think, a lot of energy work and travel and that type of stuff. And I was always going to do it on the mystical moments, but I think I'll probably end up doing it on this one. Regardless, we're going to figure it out. And for now, I think I want to keep, like I said, certain things within certain videos, because keeping that prior video up, it'd be really easy for somebody to snag the concept. So it makes complete sense. Because for those who are on my other channel, you guys know how I was like, how do I go to one thing to another? And it was AI, and then it was this, and then it was that, and it becomes very frustrating. And then I look back in the last 2 years of what I've studied and what I've researched, and it all boils down to this. So none of it was even a waste of my time. It only gave me more knowledge, right? But like when a religion came in a couple years ago, I was like, there's no way I'm going to go that route, blah, 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 blah. And you just realize how things pan out for you, and visualization and imagination are going to be one of my biggest things. And it is one of the biggest things out there. And it's another one of those things like the amygdala, where the government strips that visualization. It strips that imagination, and it's a shame. I got all sorts of studies, and we'll talk about that too. It's in my big book of a 3.5 hour, almost 4 hour video that I broke down, that I made private. We're gonna discuss all of that. So I do have to start with incorporating how the brain works, the soul, certain things like that, before we start getting into everything else too at the same time. Because once you understand how certain things, people, places, social media, how it works, that alone is eye-opening. And that alone changes somebody's idea of a lot of things. So again, I'm not shitting on certain celebrities or influencers. I need you to be aware, because they're really becoming more in the public eye, and everybody has a voice, okay? Whether they're getting talked into doing it, whether they're doing it because they think it's the right thing to do and it's their belief, and they already have the audience because they're already in the public eye, it doesn't mean that their method will work for you. It doesn't mean you've admired this person for 30 years and look at how their life goes. Their lives are just like our lives, guys. Everybody has their ups and downs. And just like humans, there's good ones and there's bad ones. So again, please don't take it personally when I'm calling out names of like higher status, because God forbid I mentioned higher status, and we would never, God forbid, if I was just mentioning human beings. Get where I'm going with that? So again, there's so many different types of manifestation, and just because you can have that higher consciousness and be awakened, you're still living within the matrix, and you're learning to separate that type of lifestyle. But that type of lifestyle is hard to separate. Like it doesn't make you, it makes you happy, then why the hell are you so sad? Things, you see where I'm going with that? So got to get to the core root of things, and without breaking somebody down. Like, I don't think you guys are gonna have like awakenings, it's more of like epiphanies is what you probably have from this channel. You know what I mean? Like, majority of us are already awoken. We're not the matrix woke. All right, you took a spiritual word and you turned it into a matrix fucking joke, and it was intentional because they knew the industry was gonna grow. Okay, so anywhoosie, enough of that for right now. I will definitely try to come on at least one more time during the week and break down some basics. But I feel like before we start certain stuff with visualizations, I feel like I do need to break the brain down a little bit better, because I need you guys to wake up a little. Because once you wake up, and not like an awakening, but once you have that epiphany of how I'm about to break down the brain for you, you're going to think differently. And it's going to take you a couple days to be like, holy shit. I ain't shitting you. So I'm gonna have to start there, even though I'm thinking, I might want to start here, there, here. No, I should probably break down certain things in a certain order, so that way your head is clearer to see something, especially when it comes to visualization. And the method I found behind the visualization and the imagination with the playing is because I learned how to break down the brain. I learned to break. It's why the government, I fucking swear to God, it's why we lose our visualization, our imagination. It's the amygdala. It comes down to the amygdala. So again, hence Dahla's method. It's the way it's spelled. So I couldn't say amygdala and break it down that way. So and me and my accent, so I just like, let's just call it Dahla's method, because it does stem from that one that one fucking tiniest little organ inside of our brain, that is so crucial because it gives you that aha from here on out. Like when we talk about things, like things will really start clicking. It will make sense. And I'm telling you, they don't teach you this shit in school, which is mind blowing. But I know why they don't teach you this in school. This is the one thing when you say those politicians, those news, they got nothing over me. Like, no, I can live my life and blah, 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 blah. And they don't have influence over me. They got fucking influence. Somewhere down the fucking road, you've had this embedded chip from them. Okay? And you slowly understand where I'm going with all this. And it will make complete fucking sense on why certain stuff are wiped from our knowledge. And it's the one power we have. It is the one thing that we have control of, but they literally have control of. Just by one word, social media, a negative thought, the radio. And visualization is hard for a lot of people. It's because it's the way it's being taught. And you really need to break down. I feel like this is why I'm here. It's because the brain needs to be broken down so you have that aha, like holy shit, for things to actually click, so you can start like rewiring your brain without rewiring over a repetitive exercise or a certain technique that worked for one over the other. That's not how that shit works. We're all capable of this, if that makes sense. So I'm not keeping anything from you guys. You know what I mean? In the sense of like, you got to wait 4 weeks. I talked about the other day. It's just, I'm going to get you back to the root of who you are. And the way I break things down, it will all make sense on why I break things down the way they break down. So you can see something. So it's so much more clear in your head with what you're working with, because you need to be aware of what you're working with and how your brain works. And they don't teach you that. They just don't. So it will really change the way you look at things. It really will. So I know some people say amygdala. It just fucking potato. This damn fruit fly. Apples and oranges. You know, it is really what it is. So I'm gonna have to stop breaking down the brain. What's that there? Oh, see, I'm gonna want to start going and going and going. It's gonna be multiple videos because I'll figure it out. So I will be back at some point this week. Before I go on my little getaway, and I shall see you then. And again, I didn't mean to insult anybody anybody out there that's really genuine. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, being an influencer, a celebrity, or a politician that's actually fucking genuine and wants the best for the human race. I applaud you. Okay. But there's a lot that are not. So, you know, this is what it is. Right? I'm ready to. And all this time I thought I was slacking or I was struggling or nope. It just had to be when I could get everything to click. Which makes sense because if I'm the one that's going to teach it and preach it, it's got to click for me first, right? All right, y'all. I love you. And we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.